A lot of new VR game announcements to get excited for, so let's dive in without wasting a second more. And we're kicking off with Thief VR Legacy of Shadow. The classic stealth series is officially sneaking into virtual reality, and I'm really excited to see how it pans out. The community is a bit outraged that it's only coming to VR this time around, but hopefully it's awesome enough to get some of those flat gamers out of their chairs and into VR. You'll play as a master thief creeping through dark medieval streets, picking locks and stealing anything that isn't nailed down. All in first person on Quest, PC and PSVR2. No release date yet, but hopefully we hear more about it soon. Next up, I might be a bit biased as a big fan of good old Wade Wilson, but I cannot wait to play Deadpool VR. It seems like exactly the over-the-top action game with ridiculous moments that you'd expect from our foul-mouthed superhero. The action is booming with creative combat, parkour and some guaranteed laugh-out-loud moments. And while the VR community is once again split in half here due to this being a MetaQuest exclusive, I think it's still better to get an exclusive Deadpool VR game than none at all. Hate on Meta all you want, but they're still investing the big bucks into making this kind of game happen. And while sadly we're not getting Ryan Reynolds as the voice, I cannot think of a better runner-up than Neil Patrick Harris, which you're most likely familiar with from his iconic role as Barney in How I Met Your Mother. Demeo is back in a collaboration with the official Dungeons & Dragons universe. Battlemarked brings the classic D&D Forgotten Realms setting into VR, letting you and your friends play a tabletop adventure with VR minis and dice. The twist is that it's more story-driven than the original Demeo. They even brought on a D&D writer to craft the narrative. You'll still have the co-op dungeon crawling, turn-based battles, and card abilities, but now with a deeper story campaign. It's due out in late 2025 across Quest, PSVR2 and PC with crossplay so everyone can team up. If you love D&D or Demeo, this is basically a dream combo. Reach is an upcoming cinematic VR action-adventure from the amazing Endreams that's all about parkour and high-flying combat. The trailer showed a hero leaping across futuristic rooftops, wall running and taking down robot enemies in style. It definitely gives off Mirror's Edge vibes, but with more combat and a sci-fi story. You can expect full body action like physically ducking, climbing and jumping in VR as you traverse a city and battle enemies. It's set to release in 2025 on all major VR platforms, so you'll be able to experience those adrenaline parkour moments no matter what you play on. Seated simulation is almost always a guaranteed good time in VR, so this next one definitely has me excited. Alliance Peacefighter is a story-driven space combat sim that basically feels like a love letter to the 90s classics like X-Wing or Wing Commander. In this game, you're a rookie pilot thrown into a war between galactic superpowers, flying alongside a squad of quirky alien wingmates. You'll manage your ship's power and shields and engage in fast-paced dogfights from the cockpit view. The game is set to release as both a flat game as well as with full VR support out of the box, complete with HOTAS joystick support for the full pilot experience. It's launching on Steam for PCVR first, so you'll need a VR-ready PC to join this space adventure when it drops. This one likely needs no introduction, but as good as it looks on Quest, I'm super looking forward to getting even better graphics on the PCVR version of Dungeons of Eternity. This is a co-op fantasy dungeon crawler where up to 3 players team up to battle through endless crypts and caverns, and who knows, maybe we'll even get the ability to add more players on this version. It'll support crossplay with the Quest crowd, meaning your friends on Quest can join your party. The release was planned for Q2 2025, so it's just around the corner for PCVR adventurers. This game is all about blowing off steam by basically just smashing everything in sight. Rage Room Catharsis offers a VR sandbox for stress relief where you can break and demolish objects without a care in the world. Picture yourself in a virtual room full of vases, TVs, office furniture, and you get to go crazy with bats, crowbars, or any tool to shatter them into pieces. Thanks to realistic physics, every smash is promised to feel satisfying and there's zero real-world cleanup. There are even challenge modes if you want to test your smashing skills against the clock, or you can just free roam and obliterate stuff at your own pace. It's a single-player experience launching on Quest and PCVR, but I would really love to see this add multiplayer after release. Levity Race is basically Mario Kart meets the Back to the Future hoverboard in VR. It's a futuristic racing game where you stand on a virtual hoverboard and zoom through gravity-defying tracks. The neat thing is it uses full body movement. You'll be leaning and moving your arms to steer the board, doing flips and even using weapons against opponents. The setting is the year 2150 and you've got an AI drone companion named Levi who zips around with you, helping attack rivals during the race. You can race solo or in multiplayer, and there's a garage hub where you can hang out, customize your hoverboard and chat with friends. The game is hitting early access in 2025 on Quest and PCVR with crossplay support. The co-op zombie shooter World War Z is getting a made-for-VR adaptation that cranks up the immersion, and I'm all for it. World War Z is a first-person single-player take on the franchise built to let you face those infamous zombie swarms head-on in VR. You'll visit locations from the original game like New York, Tokyo or Marseille and mow down massive hordes. We're talking up to 200 zombies on screen rushing you at once. It's quite a technical flex for VR and should make for some heart-pounding moments. The graphics don't really look like anything crazy, but the adrenaline should be right at home, so let's see how this is gonna turn out. If you enjoyed Sniper Elite VR, then Marksman VR should be on your radar. As the name suggests, Marksman VR puts a sniper rifle in your virtual hands and challenges you to become the ultimate sharpshooter. It's an elite sniper simulation where you'll go on missions requiring patience, stealth, and dead-on accuracy. One moment you might be quietly lining up a shot from a rooftop, and the next you're in a timed shootout trying to hit targets before they escape. The game prides itself on realistic ballistics and weapons handling, but I guess we'll have to see if that actually turns out to be true. It's an intense single-player experience planned for PCVR in September 2025, so I'm for sure keeping an eye out for it. Of Lies and Rain, this is a story-driven VR shooter adventure set in a bleak sci-fi world. You wake up in the year 2048 with no memory, and humanity has been driven underground by a 20-year-old war against AI. The game's vibe is very Half-Life meets Cyberpunk, with you exploring a post-apocalyptic city, sneaking through shadows, and getting into firefights with robotic enemies. You also gain special abilities that let you enter a digital realm to face the AI on its own turf, which I think is a very creative spin, and I'm looking forward to trying this. No exact release date yet, but it's confirmed for all major VR platforms, and it's definitely one to watch if you like atmospheric single-player adventures. Next up, we have another pretty creative spin on the scary genre this time. This one's a co-op VR horror game with a dark sense of humor. In Deadly Delivery, you and up to 3 friends are delivery goblins, tasked with carrying packages through a haunted mine full of monsters. Yes, it sounds ridiculous, and it is, in the best way possible. You'll be creeping through pitch-black tunnels, working together to avoid or distract spooky creatures, and probably screaming and laughing in equal measure. Your equipment is comically janky, think flickering flashlights and maybe a rusty sword, which makes everything scarier when things go wrong. Despite the horror theme, the goblin twist keeps it light. It's coming in late 2025 on Quest and PCVR with crossplay multiplayer. Remnant Protocol is aiming to be the next big space sim for VR, combining epic starfighter battles with a strategic twist. To be seen if it actually delivers on that promise. The premise: you lead a galactic rebellion in a far future universe, so you'll be dogfighting in space one moment and making tactical decisions the next. You'll actually be sitting in the cockpit of various spacecraft, flicking switches, targeting enemies, and engaging in intense ship-to-ship combat with full 360-degree freedom. Between missions, there's a strategy layer where you manage resources, upgrade your fleet, and plan the next move for your rebellion. It sounds like a mix of Elite Dangerous style flying with a dash of RTS. Notably, Meta is helping fund this one, so it's definitely coming to Quest as well as PCVR, with no word on PSVR2 yet. It's slated for late 2025 and could be a dream come true for sci-fi space sim fans. A Long Survive is a cooperative VR shooter focused on surviving waves of aliens with your buddies. It's sort of like a mix between a horde mode and a base defense strategy game. Up to 4 players can team up as soldiers and Space Corp, dropped onto a planet where you have to protect a base called the Nexus from an onslaught of creatures. You'll be blasting aliens with a variety of guns, but also using a special forge gun tool to build defenses. Think walls, turrets, and traps in real time around your base. There's resource management too. Every enemy wave you survive gives you materials to fortify your position more. One cool feature is the full crossplay. VR players on any headset and non-VR PC players can all play together. VMX is bringing BMX biking into VR. It's an upcoming freestyle BMX game where you can perform tricks by actually moving your hands and body as if you're on a bike or scooter. You'll ride through skate parks and dirt jump courses, pulling off moves like bar spins, tail whips, and backflips using intuitive gesture controls. The developers are focusing on realistic bike physics and responsive handling, so mastering a trick in VR will take skill just like the real thing, minus the hospital visits. You can customize your bike with different parts and even a spray paint editor to get your own style. It's both single player and multiplayer, meaning you can chill in a skatepark lobby with friends, show off tricks, or compete for high scores. VMX is targeting a 2025 release in early access on PCVR and Quest platforms. It seems like VR RPGs are making a comeback, and it was about time. Road to Yvhalon is a VR action RPG being built by a small indie team, and it's described as a Souls-like for VR. The game is set in a dark fantasy world inspired by ancient civilizations and myths. You play a hero on a quest to appease or confront gods, which means challenging battles against formidable creatures and bosses. Combat is melee focused, so expect to craft and wield swords, shields, maybe even magic, and you'll need to time your blocks and strikes. The world of Yvhalon features sprawling, atmospheric environments to explore, full of secrets and lore about the old gods. It's still in development, aiming for a late 2025 release date, but already has a demo that's impressed early players that have tried it so far. This one looks really interesting, and it has a fun sci-fi premise. You're a technician in a crash test dummy factory when the dummies suddenly gain sentience and rebel. Safety Corp is a VR action adventure that mixes realistic gunplay with physics puzzles as you navigate the chaotic factory uprising. It's kinda giving me Robo Recall vibes, with the tone being a bit comedic but with gameplay features that can get intense. You'll use a variety of weapons, handguns, rifles, even improvised tools, all of which handle very true to life according to the devs. In between firefights with dummy robots, there are puzzles to solve, machinery to fix, and choices to make. You can either help the dummies in their revolution or try to shut them down. The game even offers multiplayer modes like PvP and co-op wave survival, plus a level editor for creating your own scenarios. Safety Corp is expected in 2025 on PCVR. There's plenty more upcoming VR games to come, so like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys!